Oh, we're gonna have so much to talk about.
Are.
Okay,
And
here's your mic.
thank you.
I might
It's
hold mine.
like it's Bluetooth.
Yeah.
All right, I have like chains.
Is that I've learned over the years that like after buying all the expensive stuff that this is just a little bit better, just a tiny bit better.
Really?
Yeah.
I've
And
seen
but
it.
not by much, but it's like more convenient.
I have like this. I like the chains. I feel like I'll sound like JAZZ. You know what I'm talking about? He's
That's
like in
right.
the studio, like.
How do I sit on this? Like a doctor? Like a doctor's
Yeah, just
visit?
have a seat.
Just
Yep. And
whoa,
then
cool. Hey, it's Fernando here. As I'm editing this episode, I realized that there's no proper introduction because this episode really starts off as two people catching up, but it's just to give you some background information. This is my tattoo appointment. I got a scream tattoo on my left thigh, so I reached out to an old friend, scheduled an appointment, and you'll get to know every single aspect of just like their journey, how we met, where we kind of branched off and where we went and where we are in life right now. So it's super excited, and this will be a multiple part episode. I did post on Instagram, it might be a 5-part episode, so I'm super excited. It's only audio because I'm not gonna lie to you, the interview was 4 hours and 30 minutes long, and I did not want to record myself getting a tattoo for the first time because I did not think I would look cool doing so. So a little bit of background information on these episodes coming up, but cue the music. Awesome.
See, so we can kind of. I mean, I'm gonna put it on you standing up.
Okay.
But
Cool.
if you want to take a look.
I bought these shorts from Target like 2 years ago, these really short ones, and I was like, these are the perfect day to wear them for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time.
For the first time, yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
No, it's a good pair. They seem like they're, I mean, kind of water resistant, I guess, which is good because I don't want to get like ink and stuff. It's happened to me very lots of times. All right, so let's see. I'd say that one is like tiny, but maybe like between these two sizes, do something like that. It doesn't matter which side. This one even works. You could do something too, kind of like on the side. You know what I mean? Like it's up to you, depending on what you want to get in the future.
So let's talk about the future because I would like a leg sleeve.
Oh my God!
So,
yeah.
and I would like to keep the same artist on the sleeve.
Oh
so.
yeah, thank you.
But first, I want to get this one
Okay,
to see,
that one?
you know, obviously.
Perfect.
Well, no, we'll just on any leg, really.
Got you.
And then kind of like expand if I want.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm gonna want more, like way more.
Yeah.
After this one, and that's why
It's
I
gonna
took
happen.
so long to
Yeah.
not get one because I
Yeah.
wanted to like kind of like ease my mom into it because she's super like.
Oh no way.
Yeah, but like I was
Are
like.
you Mexican, by the way? Yeah, so am I.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me see, what I did for my first tattoo is I just kept bugging her until finally, like, she was like, okay, fine, get your tattoo. And, I got something, I wanted it to be a lot smaller than what it is, and almost, like, realistic, and it was not that at all. Like, it was, he showed me, so I found it on, like, Tumblr, back when, like, Tumblr was, like, big, and I was like, oh my God, it's so cool. It's like a little, you know those fish that you buy, like you win?
At like state fairs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a beta fish, and it was like on the back, and it was small, and it was like realistic. And I told the artist, I was like, oh, this is like kind of what I want. And he looked at me, he was like, is this like a matching tattoo with somebody? And I was like, no. And then he was like, okay. And he like left, and he came back, and then yeah, he just like left, and then he came back, and he showed me like a lot. It was like I wanted it maybe like 2 inches, and then he came back and it was like 3-4 inches. It was like more traditional style, and I was like, okay. And so I just like went with it, and I'm so happy I did it. But from there I kind of like added more to it and kind of stuck with that like theme and color, and I did like more Japanese traditional. So do you want to stick with like kind of like a horror theme? I think that'd be cool.
I do.
Yeah.
I do want to skip with I want like a horror theme on that.
I love that. Okay, so let's see.
I'm down for the bigger one.
Yeah?
The biggest one, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, because
But
you do have a lot of real estate. And I think, you know, I always kind of opt for like bigger
I think
too.
that's cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that
I
place.
think it fills up that space perfectly. All right, cool. So let me, by the way, have we started?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah. I just press record and I go.
And you just go.
And then like if I edit stuff out, that
Okay,
I'll
cool.
edit stuff out.
I
But
was gonna ask you, like, do you like edit stuff out or do you like kind of?
there's one episode I'm editing right now.
Yeah.
And there's like a brief like 10-minute mark where the guy, he's my friend, and he just blanked out. He just was like,
He's
he's like, hey, cut this out. He's
"Ah."
like, my brain is like blank now. I said I completely forgot what we're talking about. In the middle of a sentence, he just like cut this. I was like, all right. And he's like, I just forgot what we were talking
Literally,
about.
I'm gonna say if that happens to me, like I'm self-diagnosing myself before we start with ADHD, and I will do that probably some point in this
In this
episode.
conversation.
Yeah, in this conversation. I'm gonna talk to you, kind of stop midpoint, and then just be like, "What were we talking about?" Like that's gonna happen.
That happens to my co-host all the time.
Really?
And then we have to stop, and then he has to listen to like the last 30
No
seconds
fucking
to
way.
to refine the train of thought he had.
Oh my God! Can I
And
curse?
so yeah, that happens a lot. I feel like if like you don't do it often, you'll just lose yourself. And I like that. I like that about people. It's like because it reminds me that you're human beings. Like everybody like who you see on other podcasts, like really famous people, they're used to doing interviews, used to doing media stuff. So
they just go.
oftentimes it just goes and they have answers already like in
Right.
their head that they'll reuse over and over. But I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
I like interviewing kind of like the people around me because
Yeah.
it's awesome.
I do too. Like, and also ask me questions that aren't even like.
I'm gonna ask
tattoo
you.
related, like anything.
I was
like,
gonna
literally,
completely
like,
go off.
I'm an open book. Like, I'm just gonna shave a little bit more.
Okay.
Actually, do you want to go with this leg or?
I liked it on this leg.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it felt good.
It felt good. It just felt right. I'm gonna shave
But-
a little bit more. I actually like shaving, which is that
Fun
kind of sounds
fact.
weird. That sounds like weird. No, but like, you know, I so appreciate when people come like already pre-shaven, but like
it looked like this.
you know.
And on the back of my leg, it looks like I'm dirty. Like I was recording like a squat video the other day, and it looked like I had dirt on the back of my leg because of how.
Once you get like tattooed, you're gonna like shave all the time because you just want to show it
I
off.
saw a YouTube video that said to do that. I was watching YouTube videos all morning.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can like let you know what to expect.
And this one guy was like, "Don't drink caffeine 48 hours." I was like, "Well, I fucked that up already. I drank caffeine last night."
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So I was like, "Wow, I wish I would have watched this YouTube video a
I was
couple
gonna
days
say
ago."
something, but I was just like, that's, you know, I'm gonna just let him rock. Honestly, it's like not that big of a deal. So what happens when you drink caffeine? I'm sure the YouTube video, like, let you know, but you know, it's a blood thinner, so you bleed more. But I think that'll work. When I'll take a bloody picture. I don't know if you've ever seen those tattoo pictures where it's like they do like a bloody picture and then they'll wipe it and then it's clean and it's like a regular one. I feel like it'll work for this tattoo.
This room is nice.
Thank you.
I like it.
So basically my concept is I want to make it like, obviously like it's not like a tattoo studio, you know, you just find it on the street, whatever you walk in. But like I was really nervous about doing it here, you know, because you know, it's intimate and I don't want people to be like sketched out. You know what I mean?
I mean, the entrance doesn't really help.
Yeah.
you're like, it's not in here, obviously. I was like, well, I
Yeah.
would hope not.
Yeah. Exactly. So like I, you know, have to like kind of fix that up and everything. I've just been kind of like, you know, getting the basics, like the tattoo chair, like the stencil machine, things like that. And then I have to like decorate and whatnot. But I don't want people to be like sketched out. And then once they come into the room, they're like, oh, okay, like, yeah, this is fine. But I want to make it like, I want to call it like the Jazz Club because my name is Jazz.
Yeah. By the way.
By the way, yeah. My name is JAZZ FURIOSA. And yeah, so like
With
the Jazz
Z's,
Club.
by the way. Z's.
Z's, yeah, Jazz, J-A-Z-Z, not one Z. I go to like Starbucks and they do one Z's. Like when I tell them like J-A-Z-Z, and they just always do one Z. They do, and I'm like, ugh, but whatever, it's fine.
Is it fun?
I feel like
Pet peeves, pet peeves.
you know, I already
TZs.
shortened my name to make it easier for people because my full name is Jaslyn. And
I learned that on Zell.
yeah. So I like already shortened it to Jazz. And then like people shorten it and they just take out the other Z and I'm like, I feel like I already made it
I made it short enough.
short enough, easier. And it's like symmetrical, you know, it's like
Yeah.
4 letters, whatever. But
Branding wise, it looks nice too.
that's what I'm saying is like, I don't know, like I think about those things. And but yeah, so the jazz club, like that's like what I want to call it, kind of intimate, moody, you know. So that's like my vision for it. Stand up for me real quick.
Oh my god, it's like the doctors.
Yeah. All right. So
Well,
face straight. Yeah. Just kind of turn this off real quick. Well, not off, but. All right. So
Cool.
stand straight.
This?
Yeah, and then look up, and then you know, just kind of like relax. Like I'm gonna put it on you, how you like normally would stand.
How I normally would stand. I have
Yeah.
poor balance.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's fine. I know we could always
That feels weird.
move it. Putting it on.
Yeah.
Pause. Is that wait? No, that's not a pause moment. I feel like without a camera, people might not know what we're doing. So I'm applying the stencil right now.
Oh, yes. Exactly. Except for the next one. We'll bring out the camera.
Yes, we will. I didn't put enough right here. Hold on.
What's that? What's that goo?
So this is stencil gel, and it just like helps, you know, you put this before you put on the stencil and it kind of sticks on. This is actually from Colombia, an artist that I used to work with. He was Colombian.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And he introduced it to me and I love it. And it comes in pink. So
Is that the pink one?
there's like, yeah, they have different colors. They have black, they have pink, and blue. I feel like green would be a cool color. It'd be like snot or something. I don't know. But like in a good way.
I wrote some snot on my leg. Wow.
That's so cool.
That does look cool.
Let me see, like do a squat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right? That looks so cool.
Oh, I like when you said chains for the heart. I was like, I love it.
You like the idea?
I was like, I don't know why I wanted just a regular ass heart, but I was like, chains is good.
I love it. Oh my God, it's so cool already. Ah, yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, you can have a seat. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit. Normally in this time, what I should do is set up, but I just, like I said, I was so excited. I pre-set up.
You set up already?
I did, so we can use this moment
to chit chat.
Chit chat.
Okay, so, let's talk about when I first met you.
Yeah, let's do that.
Briefly, because I feel like it was a crazy event. It was the Tim Thomas showcase,
Yes.
and it was the first time that he put on that showcase.
Right.
Did you go back the next year?
I didn't.
I didn't either.
Yo, you didn't?
No.
Oh my God.
I don't even think Baller TV was there that year.
Oh no?
No, I think they went back the year after that. I don't know if he did that a year after that, but
I'm not sure.
I didn't go.
I feel kind of bad because I love Tim Thomas. He is from Patterson. That's where I'm from. And, you know, he helped me a lot. He gave me a lot of like little jobs and it helped me out because like, during that time I think I was working as a receptionist, at the tattoo shop that I used to work at. And he would give me these like small little jobs and pay me like an absurd amount of money for something that I did in like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
And, he just wanted to like help out people from his community, which I still appreciate. And then I changed my number and I never let him know. And I don't know if he texted me since after that. So like, I feel like, wait, can I curse?
Yeah, you can curse.
Okay. I feel like an asshole because like I I don't know if he's tried to hit me up about any jobs or anything like that. So I never went back, you know. But also too, like, you know, with that, with taking pictures, I was like just so nervous to do it. It was the first time I ever did something like that, like a showcase like that, and I was like in charge of like posting and taking pictures, and I was just like, oh my god. And with basketball, you gotta always be on it and like
on at all times.
Yeah, and these were like really good players, so they would make or whatever, like some cool shots, or they would dunk, and if you missed it, oh my god, he would like look at you, be like, did you get it? Did you get it? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, I gotta check the footage, and you know,
everything's not cool,
yeah.
Mr. Tim.
But yeah, so I was like, oh my god, I was like very very nervous for that for sure.
You did not look nervous at all.
No.
No, yeah.
Oh my god.
You look like such a pro. You look like a pro's pro down there. You look like you've been shooting like sports your whole life. Like,
I can't remember if that was the first time I shot sports, actually. It might have been. No, I'm lying. I took pictures for like high school, like the high school basketball team. I love basketball, so I took some pictures, but you know, like equipment, it's just so important. Like you have to have the right equipment for things like that, and I feel like I didn't. Like it's important to like invest in yourself. Like whatever it is that you do, you have to like invest in yourself and do the research and see like what you need for it, because if you don't have what you need, then it's like not gonna come out. It's gonna be like double the work for you, basically, you know.
Yeah.
And I should have had like a better lens, because I was like more into like film and stuff, and for film you use like a different type of lens than for like sports photography, you know. And I'm like, but it worked out, you know. That was the first time we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was like what, 3-day event? 2-day event?
It was. I was so tired. I don't know about you.
Oh my dude, I was on from like 6 to like 1 a.m.
No
every
way.
day.
Are
yeah,
you serious?
it's because the games would go so late, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then we have to pack up, pick up all the equipment, and then I have to go to my Airbnb because I was not driving like from New York to New Jersey.
You
like,
live in
every
New
day.
York?
Yeah.
No fucking
Yeah.
way. I saw the message that you were like, that you were in New York. I was like, oh my God, what is he doing in New York so early in the morning? Stop.
No, yeah.
Where in New York?
Well, I was born in Yonkers, New York.
Okay.
And that's where I'm living currently.
Okay.
But I
Shout
just moved back because my mom was going on vacation. So
Wait, you moved back?
To New York. Because I used to live in Baltimore.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah. That's how they say it. Yeah. So I used to live there for a couple of years, and then I moved back.
That's crazy.
So.
Oh my God, I had no idea. So how did you, like, do the event? Like, who founded, you know?
No, it was just a Baller TV event, and I had already been working for Baller TV.
I see.
And
okay.
So that was technically my first event by myself. Because we were supposed to have like a camera kit on the iPad that we used iPads to record, apparently, because that's.
I saw, yeah.
And so, which I thought was weird, but I figured like no one's gonna send a expensive camera over FedEx.
Okay, yeah. Good
so
point.
I was
good
like,
point.
all right, iPad, and it was just for streaming. So
right.
The bigger events, then they have like that streaming camera, and then the other cameras that they use for social media and stuff.
Okay.
So we didn't have that for that event, but.
Got you.
Yeah, it was like, hey, can you go there? I was like, yeah, sure. And then I had already gotten like a refund from school at that time, so I just got an Airbnb that was like 10 minutes away.
Okay.
And then I plugged in all the equipment in the Airbnb and then just slept overnight and then woke up.
No way.
Because I didn't want to drive all the way home after like
a
crazy long hour day.
Yeah, I've had that. So you've been doing like, like media stuff like that for a while.
For a bit. I feel like ever since I was like in middle school and high school, like I was always the kid with the phone. So I would have like a little Android phone recording videos of like the football team and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Because I played football, so we were just like locker room shenanigans. So like way back when Instagram was just pictures and videos, it was like a 5-minute video with like a cool 20 like second bit in the beginning, and then like 4 minutes of like random nonsense, and then the punchline finally at the end. So there's like no editing, no nothing. It was just like I was just putting up like 5-minute Instagram
like a
videos.
Little skit.
Yeah, no, but it was like not edited, nothing. It was just like everything
Oh.
that like was in between, like nothingness or randomness. I just kept in because nobody was editing at that time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was kind of the start of it. And then I would play video games with my friends, and then I would like record them on like my PlayStation at the time, and then I would just because they had an editing software on the PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah, it was
So
called
you
like
can edit on the
yeah, so it
PlayStation.
was like Share Factory, and it was like it let you just
What?
take your
That's
little
crazy.
captures, put them in
Okay.
there, put like little the basic ass transitions,
Okay, okay,
and
got you,
so
got you.
I'll tell them, yo, set your voice settings to let like my PlayStation record your voice, and then so I would just like put like little movies together like based off of what we were playing.
That's
And then I got better.
crazy.
I'm so much better at editing with a controller than I am with like my iPad or my computer.
No
It's so
way.
crazy. It's just so intuitive. It's like
I
L1
was gonna
cut,
ask you,
delete. Like
yeah.
I was
So
like,
you edit with the fucking controller. That's
yeah, for
insane.
like tons of years. Like just in private. Like I never posted those. It was just like, oh, here's the private link. Watch it. Like all my videos have like 5 views from the same 5 people that I was sending to. But that's because I put them in private because I was like, this is so
Right,
funny.
right. No, that's so cool. Oh my god, hold on. I'm just gonna move this over here. Grab my chair. Oh no. Oh, that's gonna happen. There you go.
But yeah, that's how I started editing, and then I got an iPad. Started to edit. First, I bought an iPad to edit, and then I started editing on my phone because I was like, I hate airdropping stuff to my iPad now.
That's so. Hold on. Let me just grab a chair real quick, and then I'm gonna. By the way, I realized I was playing music in the background. Should I cut it?
I don't really care.
It's low, so you can't, you know.
I think once the thing starts going, zzz, then like it'll drown out
Oh, okay,
the
yeah.
music.
I see what
So,
you're saying.
yeah.
Let me actually. I have pink gloves and I have black gloves. But for the purpose of this tattoo, I'm gonna go with black. That's, you know what's so crazy? So I can edit on the computer, no problem. Premiere Pro, the first time I've ever edited, have you edited with Premiere Pro?
Never.
No? Oh my God. So the first time I went to, before I went to film school, I did like this like week-long summer camp at New York Film Academy.
Fancy.
Shout out to them, huh?
Fancy.
Yeah, you know, and very fancy. I did not come from money at all. And I told my parents, I was like, I really want to do this. And they had a 1-week program, I think maybe like a 2-week program and a 4-week program. So I could not afford the 4-week program, but it was something that I really wanted to do. And my parents, shout out to my parents, because they're so supportive of me. And coming from like 2 immigrant parents, like who, you know, I don't know if like you're first gen. Are you first gen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they usually want you to be like doctors and shit. You know what I mean? Like my dad, like he told me, ever since I was like younger, he was like, you should be a pediatrician. Mind you, like it's funny, it's actually ironic. I hate blood.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm tattooing. I mean, I hate it. I think I hate it when it comes out of me, if that makes sense. Like I get very nervous when I like have to get my blood drawn and I see the amount of, when I see it, that's like when I get nervous. But I'm like, I hate blood. And I was like, no, I'm like not gonna do that. I don't want to be a doctor. Like, and he's like, look how much money, because my mom would clean houses, and they would go in Montclair, which I don't know if you know that town, but it's like, you know, it's a rich town, and so they would sometimes like leave their checks, and my dad would see, which he should not be doing, by the way.
Snooping.
He would be snooping around. He'd be like, I can't believe they make this much money. You should be a doctor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't, you know. They just want the best for you, obviously. But anyways, to bring it back, again,
No, keep going. I like your story.
ADHD. So I went to New York Film Academy, NYFA, and I only did the 1-week program because that's all like my parents could afford at the time. And we had to do like a short film. It had to be like 3 to 5 minutes or something like that. And I never used Premiere Pro in my life. If you've ever seen, like I forget the interface of Premiere Pro,
The layout and stuff.
the layout. Yeah, it looks so intimidating. Like it's insane how like there's a lot of things that you can do with it. It's a really good program, but if you were, you know, don't have any knowledge about it, like it's like very intimidating. So my first time using it was there. I only had 2 hours to figure out the program, edit a short film, video, and that's how you graduate. And I'm like, oh my god. So I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I only had experience with iMovie, and iMovie is, like anything with Apple, like their layout is just supposed to be so simple.
Yeah.
So it, like, Premiere Pro was, iMovie on crack and cocaine, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just
ecstasy.
Like, you almost can't even compare it. So I was just like, oh my god, how the fuck do you use this? So I spent, an hour figuring out how to use it, and then the other hour editing this video. And that was my first time. And then ever since then, I've like learned it a little bit better. And now I'm just like very comfortable using it to where CapCut, like I've been trying to use CapCut, can't use it. Like can't edit on my phone.
I hate CapCut
Like
too.
I'm just like, oh my god, this sucks. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Whoa, what's this happening?
It's happening. Actually, let me do it. Sorry, like little tease.
Oh, that's a sensation.
How is that?
I don't know how that is. That
can't-
definitely feels weird.
Can't quite compare it to anything else, I would say. Like, a lot of people compare it to cat scratches.
Not the way my cat scratches.
Yeah, I think, in what way? Is your cat, like, more aggressive or, like,
Oh,
less?
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
More aggressive.
Okay, so...
My cat's from the street.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, my cat's a gutter cat. My mom thinks because we found her outside of our business on the back, that it was a test from God. Because it was right at COVID. And then it was like, maybe this is God testing us to see if we were able to, like, take care of this cat and bring it in, nurture it, and then he'll return it, like, in our favor. And we didn't even close for COVID. We didn't shut down.
No
like, we
fucking
didn't,
way.
It's like her business did not experience COVID, like, whatsoever.
No way. What
Yeah.
was it? What's
So we
your
have a
mom's
dry
business?
cleaner and a tailoring business.
Okay.
So technically it falls under laundry services, and that's an essential, like, job.
Oh, shit.
So it was actually, we had a very good COVID year, like, financial-wise, but...
No
Yeah.
way. That almost sounds like crazy to say because everybody else's business was failing.
Yeah.
And yours was flourishing.
Yeah, because it was a lot of small clothing companies who came in and wanted to kind of kickstart their clothing brand. And so we kind of went into like embroidering and attaching like patches to clothes. And it was, so that kept us afloat, like the custom, because they would come in, get it done, and then ship them out or to drop them off to people. So
That's so cool. And it's in Yonkers,
Yeah.
the business.
yeah.
I recently made a post. I was like, name me another city where you can eat this good for $10. And I had
saw
gotten,
that.
you saw it?
I saw that.
Somebody said Yonkers, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta go to
Where?
Yonkers and try it out. You said where?
Where?
Yonkers? Oh, so it was Cap?
I mean, I must not know. I've been away for a bit, so
No, I think it was Cap.
it must be Cap. It must be Cap. The plate you posted, I was like, I could get that probably for like $10 exactly.
$10
like
exactly?
$10 exactly. But then I want a drink or I want like an
Right.
empanada, so that goes up to like 13.
Okay.
But like if I wanted like a bare plate, probably like 8. But it looked like they blessed you on that plate though.
They sure did. Now it's less than $10, no drink. I have to say, you do not get a bev, unfortunately. No bev. But it was like right by my house, so I was gonna go back home, get a bev. But yeah, no, so it was Cap, like.
Yeah, it must be Cap. But I do feel like if you know the people, if you go there a lot, then the price, like if they
True.
increase the price, they'll never like increase it for you.
For you, no, yeah.
So like my
absolutely.
haircut has been like $12 for like
Stop it.
since my first barber died. I've only had 2 barbers. So my first one was a really old man, and I had him until like I was like 7, and then I found a new barber because he died, and I didn't find out till like 6 years ago that he died. I was like,
my
oh, is that
God.
why we stopped going there? But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I've only had 2 barbers.
Oh, so you're loyal.
I'm loyal.
What's your
That's what I'm
sign?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like for the whole thing, I'd rather keep the same person doing
No,
it.
let's do it. And you know what? You have like a cohesive looking leg because it all looks the same. You know what
I'm
I
gonna
mean?
cry. Thanks. I've been working on that.
Like it looks good, yeah. Shout out to working out. Like, how long have you been, like going to the gym, like
Consistently,
yeah?
like 2 years.
Nice, very nice.
This other leg is flinching.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with the other leg.
Let me see. We can put like a weight on it. No, I'm joking. It's fine. It's all like, it's just like your nerves all connected to each other. When I did the back of my calf, I felt it all the way up. It like shot up to like my bladder. And I kept wanting to pee. So by the way, if you do have to, get up or stretch or anything like that, let me know.
Okay, cool. I feel like I'm frozen. I'm paralyzed. I'm having my ADHD moment. What were we talking about before that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, plates of food. Bevs.
Yeah, bevs.
What else?
We were talking
What else?
about
Oh, the gym.
the gym.
So yeah, why haven't you gone to the gym?
This morning.
Yeah.
I have this like weird thing. Well, I don't even know if it's honestly. I feel like I'm just like making excuses, but I wanted to be very prepared for this tattoo, and I didn't kind of like. I feel like after the gym and stuff like that, I tend to get like a little shaky. Like after I do like my drinks and stuff like that, and I didn't want any distraction. So I woke up this morning at 7. I normally wake up at 7 and then got up, ate a good breakfast too because I didn't want to be like hungry and stuff like that during this. And then I just got ready and I'm here.
So I was gonna wake up at like 8:30. And then I wasn't gonna go to the gym. I was just gonna prepare myself mentally. And then I woke up at like 4
In the morning?
in the morning. Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
when I
God.
usually wake up to go
Okay.
to the gym at like 5.
Damn, shout
But
out to you.
but today is Sunday, so they open at 7. So I sat there for like 2 hours until like 6:30 before I went over to the gym.
That's good. When did you start waking up so early?
Well, because my mom is on vacation, so I've
so
been
you're
like
in charge.
yeah, I'm in charge, and so she opens at 8, and so I've been working pretty much for like the last 2 weeks, like 8 to like 7 at the business. So it's just been like I couldn't go in the gym in the afternoon, like I would be so tired.
Right.
So I just decided I'm gonna just go in right when they open. And then I would go, and then it's still packed right when they're open. I'm like,
No way.
I'm like, who are all these ambitious ass people? Can you stay home for once? But it would only suck when I wanted to like squat, because then I knew I had to be there
yeah.
extra early. Like I had to be one of those people that are waiting in the line, like in the front of the door.
Oh my God, I know
So-
exactly what you mean. What is it? A private gym or is
No,
it?
it's an LA Fitness.
Oh, LA Fitness. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I go to the Y because
shout out to the Y.
really
I love the Y.
Do you?
The Y in Yonkers. Oh my God, it would always be so empty. Nobody would be there.
Exactly.
And they have the real weights, like the iron weights. I was like, oh, I love this place. And everybody who went was like a big, brolic version of a person. So the girls and the guys were just big, beefy, strong people. So I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Not this Y. Nope. This is kind of why. This sounds horrible. This is kind of why I like the Y because I used to go to what the fuck is the one everybody goes to? The purple one.
Planet Fitness?
Planet Fitness. So I used to go there.
Ooh.
And, I would go. You ever seen those memes where it's like people at Planet Fitness like aren't real and they're doing like the weirdest
Yeah,
exercises. Like literally, like it would be like that. But also, you know, whatever. Like I would go and I wasn't very. I still, you know, am not as consistent as I would like to be. And so I would go there and you know, you kind of have to like wait in lines for like the machines. Everybody's there. So my father-in-law, my no, not my stepdad, my father-in-law, he has like a Y membership and he added me to it. And so I'm like, why am I gonna like pay for Planet Fitness when I could just go to the Y for free? And you know, there was barely anybody there, so I just canceled my membership at Planet Fitness.
Wow, they let you do that?
Yeah, at first I went in and it was like this girl. She was young, and I love when younger people help me out because like they don't care. They're just there, you know, for the little like their check or whatever.
Check every other week. Yeah.
Exactly. So they don't care, and I'm like yes. And so I go and I tell her I was like, hey, I want to cancel my membership, and it was all good. And then the fucking manager comes and he's like, are you sure you want to cancel your membership? And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why? I hate when they like, I mean, I get it. Like, they're doing their job and they, you know. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to a different gym. And
I always say I'm moving.
oh, that's a good one.
I always say I'm moving.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh,
Where to?
no, they're like, oh, you know, we have a nationwide plan, da da da. And I was like, I'm moving like out of the country for a little bit.
Out of the country is insane. That's crazy.
I was like, oh, I'm going to Mexico for like 6 months, so I'm not gonna pay for the gym membership.
That's pretty good though. There's no Planet Fitness in Mexico.
Nope.
They're not international.
Nope.
Nice.
I don't think so. I've never seen one, but you know what I do see in Mexico a lot?
What?
McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
McDonald's and KFC. They love KFC over there.
I feel like they like KFC in every other place except for here. Honestly.
I don't know. Every KFC that I've gone to, it looks really sketch.
Yo, the KFC. So I grew up on KFC. Like maybe it's like a Mexican thing. Like
body made by KFC.
no, literally. Like
KFC, please sponsor this girl right now.
Please, let me tell you.
You need your Jared from Subway, but for KFC.
Let me tell you, I would go to this fucking KFC by my house. And yeah, it would be so sketch. Like there would always be somebody asking like for money, and but the drive-through, like you would not believe. So the drive-through, I've never seen this in any other drive-through. This contraption, like, so basically, I don't even know how to explain it.
Is it still around?
It's still around, and unfortunately, the thing isn't there anymore. Like they upgraded it. But, so you get your food, but it would be kind of like locked off. So, you know, I guess the place was sketchy, so they had to like protect themselves or whatever. And it would be this. Like
a bank? Like when you give money to a bank?
Yeah, kind of like that.
But they'll put your food in there?
And exactly.
And then, so they'll put it and they'll close it and then you open it and then you take it
literally. It was just like that. And they had this like lever to like
push it out to you.
And I'm like.
Thanks. Instead of when is your shift over, hey, when's your bid over? Because that sounds like prison.
Here's your chicken and the fucking, you know, like crazy. That was like the only drive-through that had that sort of thing, and you know they don't have it anymore, which I was kind of sad when they got rid of it and they upgraded it, but. You know, that lever thing was my childhood.
Nostalgia gone.
Yeah.
That's so funny. As soon as you were describing it, I'm like, yeah, I've seen that before, but at a fucking bank. When I'm giving them money in the drive-thru.
I'm pretty sure the fucking glass was bulletproof too.
I mean, as it should. Because people get upset over the littlest things.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2 days ago, I was upset. Because this person said, are you upset? I was like, nah, I'm fucking upset. Because you're like the second person that asked me that today. And I thought I was having a great day. And now I'm mad about like 2 people. Because they were just being annoying. Like, I'm like, when I say like, I approach them like, hey, like you're picking up. And then they're like come off like strongly. I'm like, whoa, okay, why are we strong?
Why are we
I was like, I
strong?
feel like I approached you pretty nice.
Yeah, especially picking up your clothes. Like, you should be. They were picking up or they were dropping
They were
off?
picking up, and I was like, I hope we lost it. I hope it's lost. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like nowadays, just like everything's getting so expensive,
Right.
and then they're like $16. I was like, yeah, because it's actually like 25 cents cheaper than what we usually have it. So
$16.
for like, let's say somebody comes in and they want to get their pants like hemmed, it's
Okay,
like
okay.
$16 to do,
Okay.
but that's what it's set on the computer. They're like, can you, like, oh,
Yeah.
your mom knows me. I'm like, it's what it says on the computer. So I don't know. She's gonna be gone for like
Damn, they
two
pulled the your
weeks.
mom
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
me.
Oh, but there's some people that I do recognize, and so like I do like check like their order history. So like when they give me their number, if it says like, oh, they've had 20 visits, I'm like, all right, then I'll kind of be inclined to believe them a little bit.
Right.
But when it's someone that has like 3 visits, I'm like, you're gonna pay the price I tell you to pay. Like,
Exactly. Period. Like,
but yeah, I feel like with the prices that we put up, and this is why I sent you the $400 in advance. I was like, I'm just gonna pay whatever you tell me. Like, I'm not gonna like haggle anything.
right.
Like
No.
if it goes up, it goes up. If it goes down, perfect, whatever. But like, I'm always like, I've noticed that people will pay for it.
Yeah.
Like if we raise the prices on certain things, like there'll be people who are gonna be cheapskates and not come back. But there's always gonna be somebody new to replace them.
Right.
Like somebody's gonna pay that price. And so I was like, I've seen it like at my mom's business, like the clients like who want to pay that will always come back, pay
Yeah.
it, don't say nothing. They'll pay ahead of time, like they'll pay it right when they drop it off, because we allow them to pay when they pick it up too. So,
Okay.
but all those people that were like, oh, that's too much, da, 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 they go. I'm like, all right, here's 2 suggestions. You can go down the block, go there, because we know that guy, and so he charges way more than we do because he's old and tired and doesn't want to work. So he's like, if I'm gonna work, I'm gonna charge you whatever I want.
Yeah.
And then I was like, or you could go up the block, drive up, make a left, stay on the right, and then there's another one there. And again, they've been there for a long ass time too, and they'll charge whatever they want because they're old and they're tired and they want to make money. And then they always come back. And I'm like, well, now the price is the same. I'm not gonna
Right.
decrease it because you came back and you're like, oh, da da da. But
Which, by the way, I so appreciate, you, like, not even, I always get,
were you nervous to send? You're like, hey, I think it's gonna be this because
Yeah,
it gave off that
did
energy,
it?
yeah. And I was
Stop
like,
it.
oh,
I need to be more like,
I was like, yo, I could just send you the whole thing. I don't need a deposit. I don't want to.
I was like, the 3 dots showed up and then left, and then the 3 dots showed up again and then left. I was like, if you want to, I don't know. But yeah, no, I always hate that part, like giving people, and I do think like I priced my tattoos pretty fairly. I always take into consideration that, we're not in the tattoo studio. So that,
I actually like this better.
yeah, a lot of people tell me they like this better. Like they like the privacy, the intimacy, they at the old tattoo shop, like you would have 3 different playlists, blasting
going
at the
on at the
same
same time, yeah.
and then you have like people just kind of barging in. And so I like this better too. The only thing that somebody might, I'm okay with it now, but I do miss like my coworkers and kind of talking to them, and but like you can always like guest spot or like find other places. Like for me, it's so helpful to go to other studios and like just see how they work. My tattoos are all from like different artists because I admire so many different artists, and I just want to see how they do their tattoos, and I talk to them and I learn so much. And that's probably like the only thing, is I don't get that like on a day-to-day basis, but I really don't mind, and my clients seem to like it, and I appreciate that. Like, but yeah, giving people, because if I could do this for free, like I would, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I just knew, because okay, so let's like backtrack a little bit. As you know, you've been following me for a little bit. I did film, and I actually went to school for film. And I don't know, like I really enjoyed it, and I like watching movies, and I did it because I didn't think that I could make money off of like just drawing. And tattooing was never really, like kind of like a thought for me because I didn't know anybody who tattooed. Really, and so that culture wasn't,
You weren't aware of it yet.
I wasn't aware of it when I was younger. Like, I just knew that I loved to draw, and, but I was like, I can't, make paintings and stuff like that and whatever. Like, so I did film. I kind of discovered it. What was that noise? Was that good?
Email.
Oh, you got an email.
I got an email.
That's cool. That's a cool noise.
From Under Armour. That's the Outlook email sound.
Really?
Yeah.
You have Outlook?
Yeah.
I kind of want to hear it again. It was like, it was kind of nice.
It was nice, right?
Yeah.
It's a nice email sound. But it gives me anxiety, too.
No, I feel that. Certain ringtones trigger me.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because of people it was attached to?
No, like, okay, so I was watching Succession. Have you ever watched that show?
No. I don't really watch shows.
No?
No.
Oh my God, I love
I only watch shows at like the beginning of the year when it's like I'm more relaxed at the start of the year.
Okay.
And I feel like at the end of the year, because like my major was like in business, so like we got Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 is usually the end of the year. You want to like end strong, you want to do things. So I feel like there's so many shows that are out right now that I just can't like. To me, the opportunity cost of watching it is like I just can't. Even if I want to be like, oh, I want to talk about this, like I want to talk about it on the podcast with my co-host Fabian. If I want to talk to him about it, because he lives in Jersey, so I'm in Jersey all the time because of it. So even if I want to talk about it on there, I still don't feel like inclined to pay attention because I feel like I am distracted by like, oh, I gotta get episodes out, I gotta get like other stuff out.
I get that. I get that 100%. So, it doesn't feel like a waste of time. Like, I don't want to say like it's a waste of time, but that happens to me a lot. Like, I find myself like watching a show and then I'm like thinking about, oh, I gotta do this, and then I like pause and rewind. And I almost do wish I was that person that can just kind of like watch and like,
just let go, just distract yourself from the art that's in front of you.
Exactly, because my fiance, he's that type of person. Like, he'll just like unwind and watch a show, and I'm like, okay, let's like watch 2 episodes. I'll draw for a little bit, and then we'll get back to it. But we like love to watch shows together and whatnot. And but I know exactly what you mean. I can relate for sure. But anyway, so I'm watching Succession. We're almost done with that, which is pretty sick. We just started it. It's like kind of crazy. We binge watched it, and his ringtone was my ringtone for like my birth control, and I heard it and I was like triggered. Yeah, if I hear that ringtone, I get so triggered, and I'm like,
no way.
It's like da-da-da-da-ding, da-da-da-da-ding. That was like a bad impression, but like, and I'm like, oh my God, I hate that ringtone. So whenever I hear it, I'm just like so triggered by it.
That's actually pretty funny. That's actually really funny. No, one time I had this ringtone for one of my exes, and then we had broken up, and it was like a year and a half later, and then my friend had that same exact ringtone for his cousin, and I was
oh my God.
And then it came up, and I was like, I looked at him, he's like, what? I was like, never mind, that kind of startled me a little bit. He's like, why? I was like, that was the ringtone for what's her face, and then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna change it, and then he changed it on the spot, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice of him, yeah.
But it was because his cousin texted him a lot. And so...
Oh, so you just kept...
I just kept hearing it over and over and over. But then I was like... I took that power back from that sound because I added it to somebody that I talk to every day. And so I just got used to hearing it again. Like, somebody that was a platonic friend. Well, it still is, but like... I didn't associate that with a romantic interest because then that would hurt like twice afterwards again.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like... I assigned it to a good friend and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this sound back. I was like, oh, I picked such a good little ringtone for it.
I know. It's like, I have for my fiance, I have the Circles ringtone. That's like the name of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love that ringtone. And, I have good experiences with it because it's for him. It's designated for him. But when I hear other people, they have it. And I feel like a lot of people have that for their significant other. I'm like, no, you can't have that ringtone.
Exactly.
Like,
That's yours. Mine was popcorn. The popcorn
it was
one.
popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn.
That's a good
I
one.
just checked. Yeah, popcorn's a good one. I feel like it's one of the best ones that are out there. But yeah, it's crazy. Sound, how that does things to your brain.
I know, right? How you like associate sounds with
Like people, experiences,
right.
traumatic events.
Yeah.
That's cool. So earlier you asked me what my sign was.
Oh, I did, yeah.
And I
Because
didn't
you were
answer
like
it.
loyal.
Yeah. So what are the signs that you associate with that?
With being loyal?
Yeah.
Taurus.
Okay. What else?
There's one more, but I'm blinded by Taurus. I'm biased. I'm a Taurus, so
Okay.
let me see. I feel there is one. There is like one more. I feel like you could be a Virgo. Like it could be your season.
It's not my season.
Well, it is Virgo season. Yeah, but only because you seem like you could be like a perfectionist, which I don't know if you are, but it seems like you do care about. Let's see.
I love this guessing game.
Could also be a Leo because you're just you seem like very driven. It's like none of these.
No, it's none of these. Yeah.
There's something like there's a sign that's like also loyal. I'm gonna ask you like basic questions and then see if I can guess it.
Oh,
okay,
I love this game.
Okay, so do you like to go out? Like, are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I feel like I appear extroverted, but like at my core, I like being introverted a lot more.
Introverted?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I could do both.
You could do
I
both?
could do both. Yeah.
You're, you're, sorry.
I could turn it on. You know.
Fluid. Okay. Damn, I feel like I had good questions to kind of guess for this. You could be extroverted. I mean, you could be both.
Do both. If I could choose, I would prefer to be introverted.
Okay.
Like if I don't need to go out for anything, or don't need to go talk to somebody, I would. I would choose. I would choose to not do it. Silence doesn't bother me. Silence doesn't bother me. Only it bothers me when I'm talking to somebody like that I'm interested in. Like if I'm starting a talking stage and then we're talking and it gets silent for a little bit, I'm thinking, oh, I'll fuck this up.
Okay.
It's awkward. It's like, but it's really not awkward. It's just like a natural silence. But to me, that's the only scenario that silence scares me a little bit.
Where it scares you?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me see. Are you the first to like initiate like the talking?
To initiate the talking, yes.
But like
Yeah.
not the first.
Not the first move. Not the first move. So like if the vibe is right, I'm just gonna pussy out all the time.
Okay. Oh my god. I'm gonna rule out fire sign.
So what's that? What are the fire signs?
So fire signs are Leos, Aries, and Sag.
Okay. You're heading in the right direction.
I'm right?
Yeah.
Okay, period. I'm gonna rule out fire signs. So, and I don't think Earth. I don't think you could be Earth.
What are the earth ones?
Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo.
Oh yeah, you could throw those out.
Yeah. So you're not Earth. You're not fire. You're definitely either water or air. Okay. Let me see. Do you like if you're like at a party, are you like the loudest one in the party or like not really?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't have a good answer for that. Because I feel like whenever, like, let's say you threw a party and I show up, I'm comfortable with you. Then
Okay.
I wouldn't need to feel like I need to observe the room a little bit to see like who's in here, like
Okay.
What are people doing? Like, I like to be observant, especially if it's like a new thing. But if it's like a homie who throws a party, then I'm like, all right, let's just go in and have some fun. So, as you can see, I'm like a very scenario based person. So it depends on the scenario.
I'm gonna go with Cancer.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so good. Like, I should be that. You've ever seen the TikTok where I just feel like I take forever to like kind of come up with it, and I need to think of more like basic questions. But you ever seen those TikToks where that person like goes to Central Parks and any parks in New York, and they guess people's sign?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh, I guess, you know, I hate to say, like, to kind of bring astrology into it. Like, I know that it's like very 50-50, like, either people believe it or don't, but like, I believe it to a point. Like, I do believe in like the personalities. Like, clearly, I just guessed you,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So,
After you had to like get some questions, snoop a little bit.
exactly.
But that's why I saved it. I saved that. And I was like, I won't answer that just yet.
Okay.
But I do feel like I'm a very loyal person, like especially when it comes to like people first and foremost. Like I wouldn't be loyal to like a brand,
Okay.
but I do like to wear like Nike shirts because I buy the same shirt like 50 times, like just because it's convenient to wear. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of like Steve Jobs esque. Like if it's all the same,
I love Steve Jobs.
then I
Like,
would just like I don't have to think about certain things, just throw it on and go. I do like to kind of incorporate my personality a little bit in like the pants and like the shorts I wear.
okay.
And I do like to wear white sneakers a lot, even though I fucked them up completely. But I still like and I like the fucking up part of it too though.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I like that too. So
Like a little wear and tear.
yeah. So the guy that made my podcast cover, like I know that's my guy. Like I'll go to that guy who
Yeah.
always if I need to. Like I eventually want to kind of start a podcast network and get people to come on, like make their own podcast, like help them produce
Oh,
it,
that's cool.
set that stuff up.
Yeah.
So I would love to do that. And so I already know that like I would hit him up every time he's charged me something for something. I've never been like, can you lower it? I've always been like, all right, I'll send you half right now, and then I'll get you the other half in like 2 weeks. And he's
Yeah.
like, perfect. And that's how I've kind of like built that relationship with him. So shout out to Saints Media. That's my guy. I love that guy. And he did one of my friend's podcast covers, and then she was like, "Oh, that's I don't even know his name. Like I don't know his name." He's like, "Oh, that's him," and I was like, "Who?" And she's like, "Saints Media." I was like, "That's his name?" I've always just called him by Saints Media when I describe him to people because it's like easily searchable.
Okay.
Like they'll be curious, like, "Oh, who's Saints Media?" And I'm like, and then they'll Google it and he'll pop up. So that's how I kind of like describe people. Like if
Yeah.
they have like an artist name or if they have like a company that has their name in it, I'll always say like the name of that instead of their actual name.
Okay, yeah.
Because I feel like if somebody's curious enough to Google it later and
Right,
they'll find
right, right.
exactly who they're supposed to find. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna search them up. Send me. I'm horrible with like remembering things. Send me their account. I'm gonna check them
Oh, on
out.
Instagram, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Like he did like 6 logos for me.
No
like
way.
I was like I was future proofing. I was like, hey, I'm interested in doing all this, but I want to. I'm not quite ready to unveil it yet. And then we kind of had discussions and we talked about it, and it was just I was like, I love everything you're doing, and that's so awesome. Boom, done. So you mentioned earlier, binge watching shows, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're a very creative oriented person. What are some things that you do that are not necessarily creative to kind of like either unwind or to just like take some time off? Like what is
That's not
something?
creative?
Yeah. What is something
Oh
that
my God.
somebody would be surprised to hear you say like, oh, I do like I go fishing for fun. Like for example, like
Oh my God, what a question. I'm such a boring person. I don't even.
which is common in creative people that outside of
Like-
whatever they're doing, they're a very simple, boring, quote, boring, to use that as a positive thing. But
I feel like a lot of things that I do, it kind of fall under like that creative field, or at least I try to not that I try, but it, you know, it just kind of happens naturally. I just like do things where, I mean, I guess I'm getting into like the gym a little bit more, which, you know, isn't necessarily creative, but, you know, it's good for you mentally. So I'm getting into that. But there's, let me see. I'm trying to think what I do. Not much. No, I'm joking. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I do want to learn like more hobbies. Like I feel like now that I have the time, like because I'm, you know, I'm here. I searched up the other day recently, but again, that's like creative, like, you know, playing the piano, because I try
Wow.
to like teach myself how to play the piano a while ago, and it was like a really shitty keyboard, like the keys would get stuck. So it was like not a great, you know, keyboard to like learn from. But I used to play the violin when I was younger, and then I played drums for a little bit. And that might surprise some people. Like I played drums for a little bit, but in terms of like, I like to, I don't know, go to like to basketball games. Like I actually generally, it's crazy. Like that's how we met. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I generally do like basketball games and like sports and stuff like that. I remember watching like the kids, like the boys growing up, and they were playing basketball, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. I don't know why. Like I was just like, I want to do that. And I remember the girls in gym class, they would always kind of like walk around and gossip. Like, you know, in high school you get like the option, like what do you, whatever. We had these like days where you could do whatever you want. So like the girls would like walk around, talk about shit. And then I would always play like one-on-one with one of my friends who was like willing to let me play. And we would always have these like,
Not the boys gatekeeping basketball.
yeah, I
Willing
mean,
to let me
listen,
play.
I'm not like Kobe out
Yeah.
there, even though I would always say I'm like, you know, I'm not Kobe. You know, no, I'm far from it. But this one, you know, one of my friends, we're still friends to this day. He would let me play with him, and we had all these like rules. I was like, okay, you can. He was left-handed, so I was like, you can only use like your right hand, because he was obviously a lot better than I was. And so I like played with him. And then I was like, he would still beat me with just using his right hand. I was like, okay, now you know, basically he couldn't like play. Like I was like, all right, you got to play blindfolded, and then I would like beat him. But like, you know, I tried to get into like skateboarding too, because I felt like that was like always cool, and I always wanted to do that. And I have like a skateboard, but I can't do any tricks. Like I can really only like ride it, which that also took a while to kind of like get comfortable doing. But yeah, I want to get more into like physical activity stuff, you know, things that I've always wanted to try to do, and kind of like get into that. So like boxing is something that I've always
Wow,
wanted
I
to
was
do.
thinking that in my head. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know why you just look like a boxer.
I thank you. That means a lot to me. I always wanted to kind of get into that, so that's something that I gotta like look into. And my sister knows how to fight, how to box and whatnot, and
How to beat people up.
exactly, you know, she's been into quite some fights during her time. But I've always been a lover, not a fighter. But still, it's you know, you don't have to like
It's
fight
easier.
somebody you
It's
see
easier
on
to
the
be a
street.
lover and know how to fight than to be a fighter to know how to love somebody. So it's
Exactly.
easier
Look at that. I like that.
for sure.
So, yeah, I should like check that
You
out.
better
And
start beating some people up.
exactly, you know, I bought like a jump rope so I can, you know, kind of have that like boxer, the way they jump, and you know,
That's interesting.
yeah, little kind of long answer for that. Just we're trying to figure out
Yeah. What do you like? What are your hobbies?
what to do.
Now, talking about skateboarding, when I was like younger, I wanted to start skateboarding too. But then my mom bought me this cool Incredible Hulk skateboard,
Okay.
and it would like was like a holographic skateboard, and then I would never ride it. I would just carry it everywhere. Like
Stop it.
I would just show my skateboard off, and it was still brand new. Like never like touched the ground, and I was just like, I'm not using this. I'm just gonna walk around with it everywhere because it looks so cool. I didn't want to fuck it up.
Stop, because
Yeah.
my skateboard is holographic. The one that I have in my trunk right now is holographic.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was like the first Hulk movie that came out, and I was
Oh,
like, I love this.
yeah.
It's like so cool. And I never learned. I had the skateboard for a long ass time too, long time.
You know, there's a way to hold a skateboard without looking like a noob.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know. I just held it by the wheels. Is that the noob way?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Like by the trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Because you would always see, I feel like you would see people kind of holding it like horizontally.
Yeah, horizontally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I remember I got my skateboard. I got it at the mall. At Vans. I knew somebody who worked at Vans at the time, and he kind of made it for me. And I was like walking around the mall thinking I'm like the coolest person
kid
ever.
ever.
Like, and I'm like fucking holding the skateboard horizontally, not knowing that I'm like I'm
You're
look
projecting.
lame.
You're
Yeah.
projecting.
and
This is your first time holding a skateboard.
yeah, they're like people are probably like, oh, look, this fucking noob, like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like holding it the wrong way the whole time. Meanwhile, I'm like thinking I'm like the coolest person ever. But yeah, I learned that from like another skateboarder actually. He was like, oh, you're not supposed to hold it like that. You and so I'm like, no way.
Not the right form to hold a skateboard.
I know, right? Like it's
So
just like,
funny.
but I watched mid-90s and I was like, oh my god, it's so cool.
I was gonna say, it's always TV that teaches you the wrong things to do for certain things.
I can't remember if he. I don't think afterwards he held it like that. But I think in the beginning when he was like learning, he would hold it like that. I don't even know if they touched up on that, but I really enjoyed that movie.
I actually like skateboarding a lot. I feel like growing up, like getting to like play the Tony Hawk games, I was like,
Yeah.
I love that guy. And then I saw a documentary about him,
Uh-huh.
and then I was like, wow, you are so old now.
No
It's
way.
so crazy. I was like, I remember my youth, how you used to look, and then now like you've like literally like aged as I aged, but
Uh-huh.
like I was like, wow. I was showing my sister, and she was like, who is that? I was like, what do you mean who is that? That's Tony Hawk.
I haven't seen him in a while. Oh my god.
And it's so funny, the Tony Hawk memes of like people meeting him in real life, and they're like, hey, you look like Tony Hawk, and he's like, oh yeah, I get that a lot. He always says that and never says, oh, it's me.
I love Tony Hawk, honestly.
And then people will be like, are you Tony Hawk? He's like, no, but I get that a lot. Like he'll just say
no
that.
way.
Yeah.
You ever seen that one where he's like, where it's like a picture of Wesley Snipes holding a gun?
I know exactly
and
what
he's,
you're
like,
talking
crying,
about. And it's like when the race war
war comes.
and I have to kill Tony Hawk.
I love that. It pops up every so often.
I love that meme.
And I love
it.
when it comes up. And then Tony Hawk's like, I appreciate the hesitation.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh my god. He's so cool.
He is. I remember I went to Street League. That's Rob Dyrdek's, but I went to Street League in Prudential Center, and that was, I mean, I don't know why I just brought that up, because Tony Hawk is not a part of that, and he wasn't there, but, like, the skateboarders are so cool. They're just, you know, like, they just fucking...
They're cool by accident.
Like,
because they don't
yeah.
want to be cool. They
No.
just end up being cool.
I don't know if you remember this, so... By the way, the toys at Happy, like when you used to get like Happy Meals, back in the day, they used to be so like
So good.
So good. They were
like actual toys.
Yeah, they're not like paper.
They ripped it out of the box it came in.
Right.
And then put it in the Happy Meal in a plastic bag.
So I remember one time it was like Tony Hawk, I think to promote his like video game, and it was an actual like little game that you used to play, and I was obsessed with that little thing. I don't know if you
like, what shape was it? Because it's sounding very vaguely familiar, but it was like it wasn't like a normal shape. It was like
thing. I feel like it wasn't a normal shape.
It had to have been like a little like a splat like shape, you know, like something like a Nick shape, like a Nickelodeon type shape.
I can't even remember
because I remember vividly. I feel like I kind of can picture the shape in my mind, like. It didn't sit well in your hands.
No.
It was like uniquely like made so it looked pretty cool when you looked at it from far away too. But I do remember like vaguely remembering that.
I was obsessed with that little game. It was like the simplest thing. All you have to do was I don't even remember, but I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. This part is a little spicy, as people would say. The closer it gets to like the inner thigh area.
Oh my god. There was a guy that I was watching on YouTube. He was like, think of the places you'd like to get kissed and they'll hurt the most when you get tattoos. And I was like,
oh, that's a good way to think about it.
I was
I
like,
guess.
wow, that's kind of crazy. I was like, that's very bold of you to make that assumption.
That's true.
I was like, what if I like getting kissed on my knee, huh?
Oh, yeah, good point. You have a weird,
Hey, what if
fetish.
what if I'm a knee guy? You know,
Knee
exactly.
guy, yeah, and you have a weird knee fetish.
But
I will say, ever since people started seeing like faces on knees, I will kind of zoom in on people's knees and see if I see anything. I'm like, I guess I pay more attention to the knees than I normally would after a couple people like have pointed out.
yeah.
Oh, it looks like this person on your knees.
So what are some things that you do now that you didn't do before tattooing? Like, you know how you just said you focus on knees, like, because someone brought it up too. But, like, from before you even started tattooing until now, what are some things that you kind of do now since you started tattooing?
Since I started tattooing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely looking at your tattoos for sure. Like 100%, I will look at people's tattoos and kind of like see, how I don't want to say I judge it, but like I do kind of like look at it, you know what I mean? Because I don't ever want to like judge people's like tattoos and like the tattoo artists, like they always like put in like hard work to do it. But I do pay extra close attention to it and kind of like get like a story. I remember one time I was like getting like a phone, like the screen, whatever for an iPhone, and I'm looking at this guy's tattoos, and it was so sad. It was like RP mom, RP this person, RP, and I'm like, oh my god, that's like so sad. So I like do look at like other people's tattoos and just kind of dissect that. I could also tell when people are like hydrated, I guess, with their skin and like
really
or like moisturized.
That's crazy.
Like when people are more moisturized than others, like I can tell now. Like if you moisturize daily, which I moisturize daily, by the way, and it's crazy to me when usually when I tattoo people, like I'll notice it more, but like when you don't moisturize daily, like I could tell, which is crazy.
No, I'm not in charge of my skincare routine. So my sister just buys the stuff and she's like, hey, do this here at this time, do that. And I'll go be like, hey, I ran out of 8 o'clock thing I need to do. And then she'll just buy it.
Bruh, having a skincare routine, first of all, I had no clue that as an adult, you had to have a skincare routine. Like, I thought when you were younger, like, I thought, like, your skin would just magically clear, and, like, you wouldn't have any of those problems anymore. No, you have to maintain it. And that is, like, the biggest fucking, like...
adult lesson.
Like, hoax, I'm just like, oh, my God. So annoying. It's just, like, life is... not easier.
See, I shaved my leg like a week ago. And like as soon as you were like, yeah, that day works for me, I started shaving my leg, and then like the next day I was colder. I was like in the gym. Yeah. I was like, I'm so cold. I was like, what happened? And then I started feeling on my leg, and I was like, wow, my leg is so soft. And I never really noticed that. But I know it's soft because of the body wash my sister makes me use.
Okay.
And the exfoliating glove that I have that she makes me use.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, wow, the results are in.
My
skin is so soft.
Yeah, That's all important. That's one thing is that you do get colder. I will say, I'm so hairy. Like we're Mexicans, so we're hairy people. I feel like I have to shave every other day.
You know, this was the first time I ever shaved.
Really?
Yeah, my leg, yeah.
No, that happens with a lot of guys. Like when I tattoo them, I shave. They're like, "Oh, I've never seen my leg," and they're like, "Yeah, there it is."
I've never seen my leg.
Like, yeah, because people don't normally shave. Like guys don't normally shave.
No, but I was like, I felt like the texture of my shorts the other day,
Oh,
and I was like, whoa, like it was like a different sensation for sure.
whole new world.
Yeah, it was because it was not glowing, growing in a little bit, like the stubble,
Oh,
and that felt different too, like it
that's the
rubbing
worst phase,
across, like.
honestly. The stubbly phase is the worst, especially when you go to sleep. Oh my god.
Whoa, that line, I can see that line. That line you're working on. The other lines I
Yeah.
can't really tell. Oh, this one I could tell. The one I said was gonna hurt. Yeah, this is super cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So you said you had a fiance earlier,
Yeah.
and I do talk about relationships on my podcast all the time.
Oh snap.
Yeah. So, how long have you guys been together?
We've been together for 11 years.
Okay, that's the record on the show, the longest relationship.
What's my prize?
I gave you a shirt before
That's
I
true,
even
yeah.
knew.
Oh my god, yay.
So, I asked one of my friends that I met in Baltimore. His name is Omar, and he's been married. He's like engaged,
Okay.
and he has a kid.
Okay.
And so I asked him like, what was the key moment in your relationship to whether it was either gonna end or you guys were gonna stick it through, and like how did you guys like get through that together? And then he explained his story
Yeah.
about that. So I'm curious on you. Has there been ever like that make or break moment in your relationship, and how did you two work together through that?
There definitely has been. I mean, we've been together for a really long time. Like 11 years is, people look at me and they're like, "How
Yeah,
did you?"
how?
Like exactly, they're like doing the math in their head
You
because I
look
look
like
so
you're
young.
like 22 years old.
Yeah. So we started going out. We were 14, which is crazy. And obviously, if you go out with somebody for that long, like you're gonna have like problems, like any couple would. So I remember the year like we had a break in 2018. So I just felt like I felt like the relationship kind of hit like I'm gonna turn this down because this song sounds so aggressive. not the
Not the vibe.
vibe I'm going for.
Not the vibe.
So so we took a break in 2018. I just kind of was like focusing on my in like college, and I also felt like the relationship kind of like halted, I guess. Like it was just we would like go to each other's houses. We wouldn't really like talk, whatever. And so I was like, all right, like we need a break. And during that time, like I was not interested in talking to anybody new. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I had no desire to do that like whatsoever. And I was just like really focused on college and film at the time, because I felt like maybe I needed to like focus more on that. So once I realized that he's been my rock, and he's been my supporter, and like I just felt so much better with being with him than being without. That's when I realized I was like, okay, like no, this break was good because it served like its purpose of like I want to be with this person, like genuinely want to be with this person for like the rest of my life. And yeah, so like that was kind of like a all right, like no, we're better together.
Wake up call, yeah.
And he felt the same way, so we got back together. I think maybe like 2 months. We had like a 2-month break, and
That's
was
still
like
a
the
bit of
moment.
time.
Yeah,
That's still like that's enough time to stop being used to someone. I think, like, that's like what 60 days. That's a whole.
Yeah, like
That's a long time.
it
Isn't
was.
time weird?
Was that? I'm sorry.
I said, isn't time weird?
Time is crazy. Like this summer felt like it flew by. I don't know about you. I feel like a lot of people are saying like this summer kind of flew by for them.
I feel like every month flies by for me.
Right, that's true. We're
Every
like
single month. Like, it was just my birthday. Now it's like September.
that's crazy. Yeah, right. You're a July Cancer.
No, I'm a June Cancer. June 28th.
That's something that I don't ever like. I'm like, oh, I don't, like that's like I don't know, like people are like, oh, it's different, like different cancers or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not invested in too deep. There was this one girl who's really interested in me who asked me every single detail of my life.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I gave it to her. She gave me a fucking PDF file of
She,
like
like,
things. Yeah, like she
she
like,
asked you for
my time,
your
my birth time.
No, that's
like
insane.
the city, location, da da da. And I was so interested in what she had to say, and it was all like good things, and it was like feeding my ego a little bit. And I was like, thanks, I needed this.
So that was like off rip. She asked
like
you
off
those
rip.
questions.
Like, we were just casually chatting.
That's crazy.
And then just went into it.
She was just like making sure you guys are like good compatibly.
Yeah. Exactly. But she put in before she sent me that big PDF style kind of thing. She was like, "What's it like being God's favorite?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what it's like. This is news to me."
This is news to me.
But then ever since then, I've just been walking around like I'm God's favorite.
Yeah.
Like,
you should get that tattooed.
God's favorite. Where would I put that?
I feel like your chest.
My chest.
God's favorite.
That's cool. I'll do that. I should do that. People are gonna look at it like, oh, look at this guy.
Hey, this guy, right? You take your shirt off the gym, and it says
No,
God's
I'm gonna
favorite.
start doing that now because I'm gonna get that. Or I'll put it really obnoxiously like on my like arm, like huge, like.
Do it with Sharpie, and if people ask like why is it in Sharpie, be like, oh yeah, I just want to make sure, I like it before I get it on me permanently. It's something I resonate with, God's favorite.
God's favorite. That's cool. Or on my back. That would look kind of tough.
That'd be kind of cool actually.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a sleeve, a leg sleeve. I think that'd be cool.
Legs, honestly, I feel a lot like harder than arms. Like arms are a piece of cake. Legs, oh my god, tough.
I don't know, but I feel like legs are cooler.
Legs are cool. I started with my legs, so I can relate. But they are like, oof.
Tough.
They're tough.
Money's worth.
No, I mean, not so much that. It's just like in terms of like pain. Like one of my most painful
I thought you meant as in like it's hard to tattoo.
No. It's great to tattoo. It's just hard and like in terms of the pain. One of my most painful tattoos was my calf. Which I said earlier. I kept having to like pee. Like, also I'm the type of person. I don't know about you, but I have to kind of be looking at the tattoo.
Oh, no, not me. I've been kind of trying not to focus on that. I'm looking at the little, like, why is your outlet on the very top of your wall?
Oh, I'm going to put a TV there.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
you should keep that there.
No cords.
Wow.
I hate cords.
But I've been hyper-focusing on that.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I need a television so you can, like, watch something instead of the...
No, I have this weird ability because I was working at Whole Foods one time.
Okay.
And then every shift, I would just like from the beginning of Star Wars Episode 3 to the very end, just play the scenes in my head as I'm doing my little mundane job. Like, so whenever I need a distraction, I feel like I have a TV in my brain.
You can watch the whole movie.
I can watch the whole
insane.
movie. It's because I feel like I've watched it so many times. I know all the like lines and stuff.
I have to ask you. So when you close your eyes and I tell you to like picture the beach, can you see the beach? Like
I can see Venice Beach because I've been there.
Like you.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Like you can see.
I can see it as
with
if
color.
is if I'm there. Yeah, exactly. As if like, if I do it long enough, I could feel the sand in my toes.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You can see it.
I can see it, yeah.
I am so, like, I almost have a hard time to believe. And people who can see things in their head have a hard time to believe me that I can't. When I close my eyes and it's just black. It sucks. I remember when I found that out, it was during the pandemic, and I was so depressed about it. I was like, oh my God, like, I'm not, what kind of an artist am I? I can't see things in my head. You know, like, I can't picture stuff in my head.
People are like, hey, picture this. Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't.
Literally. And I'm just like, oh my God, don't do that to me.
Damn.
That
I also
sucks.
have this innate ability, because my ex used to hate this. She'd be like, what are you thinking about so hard? I was like, nothing. I'm just like, my eyes are closed. I'm just staring into blank space. Like, I'm just like, not using any brain power. I'm just like, chilling. I feel like I could easily like calm my brain too, just focus on nothing.
Really?
And if I want the room to be black, then it can be. But
Stop
like,
it.
yeah.
This sounds like a superpower.
I don't think it is, because it feels like a useless superpower. Like, I could just be blankly staring off into the distance and like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, nothing. I'm just not here. I'm not there. I'm not anywhere right now.
I'm so jealous of people who can, like, close their eyes and see the fucking beach. Like, you truly are God's favorite.
Must be. I believe it.
I believe it.
I've been walking around like I am for like ever since I was told that. I was like, yes, ma'am, you are correct. But I do feel like that's kind of true though, because I feel like there's always been a decision that I've made in my life that I can look back on, and if I would have made the other decision, it would have been completely different.
Oh my God.
Like completely different.
I am such a believer of everything happens for a reason, and like I truly do believe, because you know, like I grew up Roman Catholic, as I'm sure you did, because you know,
and then my mom converted to Christianity.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
You know, I think my mom kind of went through that, or maybe is going through that, but yeah. So she always told me like todo pasa por una razón, por una razón, and you know, like God has like a plan for you. I so believe that, you know, without getting too like spiritual here, but
we do that on this show too.
okay, yeah. I
do,
wasn't sure.
We do everything on this show.
Period. Yeah, so shout out God.
Shout out God.
Yeah,
I've never heard that on the podcast, but shout out God. Maybe.
God did. Yeah, shout out him or her, you know, whatever you want to believe. Or them.
Or them.
They/them.
Or it could be like the Greek people think, and there's like multiple of them.
Could be, you know. We don't know.
We don't know. Isn't that weird?
Pretty crazy.
Like,
I think it is important though to believe in something.
Yeah.
100%. I do think that for I was kind of obsessed with like Jonah Hill, and then like the shit.
No.
Yeah, I know the shit kind of released. So I do need to get up and move around a little bit. Hold on, let me just do this thumb, and you can like kind of get up. Do whatever it is.
Yeah, my leg is like falling asleep.
Yeah, I got you. There you go. Which happens, by the way. So if you want to get up, move around a little bit.
My legs are numb.
Yeah, stretch.